The dark age of Sonic the Hedgehog was a time where Sonic was at his absolute worst when it came to video games, and it's also debatable when the dark age even started. Some people say Sonic Heroes or Shadow the Hedgehog, but I personally say the dark age started in 2005 when Shadow the Hedgehog came out. And while Sonic Heroes got some solid reviews, Shadow the Hedgehog's reviews are just terrible. So to begin the video of the dark age, let's start with Shadow the Hedgehog. On November 15th of 2005, Shadow the Hedgehog was released for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and the Xbox. This game was the first and hopefully is the last mainline game dedicated to Shadow. But if I heard that Shadow was going to get his own game back in 2005, I would have been really excited because of how much I like Shadow in SA2. But besides me going on about my opinion, let's talk about the gameplay now. So, Shadow the Hedgehog is a third-person shooter game, as well as platforming and adventure gameplay. Yeah, it's definitely a different approach from most Sonic games we've been getting recently, but in this game, there are 10 endings, and if completed, the true ending will actually be unlocked. Wow. So, if you want to unlock the true ending, you actually have to beat the game 10 times, which is absolutely insane. There's also missions in this game, which are Hero, Dark, and Normal. In Hero missions, you complete different tasks for the heroic Sonic characters, but on the other side, Dark missions involve you completing tasks for Black Doom or Dr. Eggman. And as for normal missions, you must reach the Chaos Emerald at the end of the level. Now, I have to be honest, I've never played Shadow the Hedgehog before in my life, and I certainly don't plan on doing it soon. Sure, I could just emulate the game, but no. However, I've seen the gameplay, and from the looks of it, it's really not that good. So now, let's talk about the plot. Shadow suffers from amnesia and only remembers two things, which are his name and his attempts to escape the space colony Ark. Shadow also wonders if he's an android. Okay, first, Shadow is outside with Stropolis, when out of nowhere the alien race Black Arms drops out of the sky and invades the city. Next, Black Doom tells Shadow an old agreement, which was to bring Black Doom to the Chaos Emeralds. Then, Shadow searches for the Chaos Emeralds to learn about his past, of course. As you progress through the game, Shadow learns more and more about his past and regains his memories. He can also choose to help Dr. Eggman, or Black Arms to help Gun. Or Shadow could just keep the Chaos Emeralds for himself. In the true ending, Black Doom uses Chaos Control, enhanced by the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds, to bring the Black Comet to the Earth's surface. Black Doom also tried using mind control on Shadow and failed. So, Black Doom transformed into a giant called Devil Doom, and Shadow turned into Super Shadow using the Chaos Emeralds. And during Devil Doom and Shadow's fight, Eggman tells Shadow he is the original and not an android. So after Shadow defeats Devil Doom, he uses Chaos Control to the Black Comet back into the Earth's orbit, where he obliterates it using the Eclipse Cannon. Finally, Shadow is shown in the Ark's control room holding up a picture of Maria and Gerald, and then he says goodbye, forever. Yeah, you probably would have thought the ending would have been a little bit happier, but anyways, all I have to say about the music in this game is that it sounds very bizarre to me, and it's not that I don't like rock music, it's just that I don't like rock music in Shadow the Hedgehog. So, I can't say the music is very great. Now, with all that to say about Shadow the Hedgehog, a question you might be wondering is, how did this game affect the series? Well, to start off, as mentioned before, the reviews were not great at all. To be specific, this game got a 51% from Metacritic, a 4.7 out of 10 from IGN, and a 4.7 out of 10 from GameSpot as well. And this is just unacceptable because Sonic games have proven to be way better than this. And 2006 was the year for Sega to show the world what truly makes Sonic great and why it is one of the best franchises in the world. However, this didn't happen. In fact, Sonic 06 flopped. Another question that might come to your mind when you hear Sonic 06 is what happened with the development and how could the game be as bad as it is? Well, there are answers for this. So first, let's answer what happened with the development and why the game design was so poor. And sorry to all those Sonic 06 fans, what I just said is my opinion, so please let me know why you disagree in the comment section. But anyways, to start off with, Sonic 06 was originally supposed to come out on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and the Wii. Yeah, the Wii. This game was meant to be a refreshing reboot for the series, and at the time, this game was hyped, and to be fair, that could put more pressure on the development team. Also, Sonic team are working hard on implementing motion controls into the title, so it would be able to run on the Wii. But there was a problem, and that was that Sega wanted 06 to come out in time for the PlayStation 3. So, to meet the deadlines, Sega had to split Sonic team into two teams. This meant one half of Sonic team had to work on Sonic 06, while the other half of the team worked on Sonic and the Secret Rings, and had to be released in 2007, which was exclusive for the Wii. And this also meant Sonic 06 on the Wii was cancelled, and when Sonic team was split into two smaller teams, this caused the development to be rushed, of course, for the holiday season. I mean, you could tell that by the gameplay. I'm sorry, Sonic 06 fans. Later, Sonic 06 released on the Xbox 360 in November of 2006, and came out on the PlayStation 3 1 month later. So, to sum up what happened with the development, the game developers performed under pressure, which caused Sonic 06 to be as bad as it is. I'm sorry once again. But I don't blame the game devs for Sonic 06 having bad gameplay, because if they were given more time with Sonic 06, it could have possibly been one of the best Sonic games ever. But now, I'm just gonna explain a little bit of what the game is actually about. So, first for the gameplay, you can play as Sonic, Shadow, or Silver. And if you want to play the game for the story, I recommend doing Shadow Story because it's the best out of the rest. And speaking of stories, let's talk about the plot. For the plot as a whole, Dr. Eggman kidnaps Princess Elise of Soliana in hopes of harnessing the flames of disaster, which is a destructive power sealed within her. And for Sonic's story, this is a part of the focus where Elise gets kidnapped over and over again, and Sonic just has to keep on rescuing her. You know, it's really stupid because it's just repetitive. It's annoying. I hate Elise. Now, as for Shadow's part in the plot, Shadow and Rouge accidentally release an evil spirit who is known as Mephiles, or Mephiles? I don't care, I'm gonna go by Mephiles. But anyways, Mephiles manipulates Silver and Blaze into thinking Sonic is the cause of destruction. Now, when these stories come to my mind, the problem is that these stories weren't executed correctly, besides Shadow's story, because that one wasn't as bad as the others, of course, right? But that's all I'm gonna say about these stories, because I won't be going into depth about every little detail with all these three stories. I mean, just go watch the video. I mean, I'm sure it's been explained in videos. I mean, like, just play the game, I guess. I don't know. But next, for the gameplay, I like Sonic's the best. I'm not saying I like it, but I'm just saying that it's superior to Silver and Shadows, of course. But one problem I do have with this game is definitely the glitches. I mean, come on, you've had to at least come across one glitch or two glitches if you played the game at least once or twice. But yeah, this game was clearly unfinished when it released, and you could tell because you can literally break this game and in real life if you want. But moving on, let's talk about the music. So the people who composed the soundtrack for Sonic 06 are Mariko Nanba, Takahito Iguchi, and Tomoyo Otani. Yeah, I definitely think I pronounced one of those names wrong. But anyways, I think Sonic 06 has the second best soundtrack in the series. The first best is obviously Unleashed, but I mean, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. The soundtrack for this game is truly special because it's great and it hits different, so yeah. Okay, Sonic and the Secret Rings flopped because of Sonic's team splitting into two teams, and this is clearly why the game just isn't polished, because think about it, there just wasn't enough time. But anyways, now let's briefly cover the story. So, after reading the Arabian Nights, Sonic falls asleep only to be awoken by Shara. She explains that Eraser is erasing the pages of the Arabian Nights and asks Sonic to help her, and obviously he's gonna agree. Then Sonic enters the book. After that, Sonic and Shara encounter Eraser inside the book, and he tells them of his intent to search for the 7 artifacts. The artifacts are called World Rings, but Shara claims they do not exist. So, Eraser shoots an arrow of fire at Shara, but Sonic takes it for her. And if Sonic doesn't collect the World Rings for Eraser, Sonic will die. After Sonic manages to obtain the World Rings, Eraser convinces Shara to give them to him, but to keep them out of Eraser's hands. So, Sonic wishes for Shara to do what she truly thinks is right, and she collapses on the ground as her mind cracks due to her conflicting emotions. Eraser attempts to sacrifice Sonic in order to open the gateway between worlds, but in a move of suicide, Shara interrupts the attack, saving Sonic and asking for his forgiveness before dying in his arms. Then, Eraser mutates into the monstrous Alf Layla wa Layla, now intent on remaking the Arabian Nights in his image before moving on to Sonic's world. So, Sonic absorbs the World Rings of sadness, rage, and hatred emotions he was feeling at the time, and transforms into Dark Spine Sonic, which is probably one of the coolest versions of Sonic in my opinion. But finally, Sonic defeats Alf Layla wa Layla and wishes for Eraser to bring Shara back to life and to restore the book to its original state, and lastly, to be trapped in his lamp for all eternity. Alright, now in my opinion, this story is meh. I mean, I couldn't care less about this story simply because it's Sonic and the Secret Rings. I don't think I have to say anything else. I mean, like, by now, you should know that I'm really here for the gameplay. And speaking of gameplay, I remember playing this game as a kid, and it was just terrible. I have to be honest. The game design was poor, and so are the motion controls. But moving on, the music was composed by Kenichi Takoi, Fumi Kumatani, and Sirio Okamoto, and Hideki Kobayashi of Wavemaster. I know, I pronounced the names wrong, but they're on screen right now, so you can see them. So, the vocal tracks were actually done by Steve Conte and Run Blue Blee. I'm sorry for pronouncing these names wrong, just bear with me. The music in this game is mostly rock guitar based style of previous Sonic titles, and it adds elements of traditional Middle Eastern music to complement the game's theme and aesthetic. Now, with all that to say, I think the soundtrack is mid, and that's all for Sonic and the Secret Rings. So, now, Sonic in the Unleashed. Yeah, I kinda forgot about that game, somehow. In 2008, the Sonic franchise needed a good game. We were getting Sonic games every single year, back to back, and they were trash. But that wasn't the case with Sonic Unleashed. Well, it's more like Sonic fans liked Sonic Unleashed, but the critics certainly didn't. So first, let's talk about the gameplay in Sonic Unleashed. So, there are 2 playstyles, Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Werehog. Okay, this just sounds stupid. It's basically Sonic transforming. But anyways, in this game, there are medals you need to collect, and if you get enough, then you unlock more stages. And this is a requirement. which is something that I honestly disagree with. And this can certainly be a challenge if it's your first time playing, but if you've beat the game, then you'll know where these medals are. Now, in my opinion, the daytime stages are the best. I just want to get that out there. The daytime stages are better than the Werehog stages, by far. Now, this is obvious because the Werehog stages suck. I'm sorry to all those Werehog fans out there, but I just can't with the Werehog, man. And the reason why is not necessarily because it's a slow gameplay. Trust me, I would have been fine with the Werehog if the gameplay was good. But the combat system just sucks, and all you're really doing for the most part is button smashing. Sure, there's a little bit of platforming in there too, but for the most part it's button smashing, and that's just really not fun. For me anyways. But let's talk about the story now. After the defeat of several of Eggman's robots, Sonic transforms into Super Sonic and corners Eggman on the main spaceship. However, Eggman uses the energy cannon to take away Sonic's super form, and that's when Sonic turns into a Werehog. It's what he always wanted. After that, Eggman uses the Emerald's energy to release Dark Gaia, and because this happened, Planet Earth was split into 7 pieces. And now it's up to Sonic to restore Planet Earth's 7 pieces back where they were originally. But on Sonic's journey, he meets the opposite of Dark Gaia, who is Light Gaia, and Light Gaia suffers from amnesia. And because of this, Light Gaia forgot his name, so Sonic nicknamed him Chip. Tails and Amy are also in the story too, but they don't have any significance in the plot. And Amy still has problems identifying what Sonic looks like.
Oh, Sonic! Oh my gosh, I am so sorry! Who are you?
Later on in the game, Chip regains his memories and Sonic defeats Dr. Eggman in Eggman Land. And Dark Gaia also turns his back on Dr. Eggman. And to put this simply without much detail, Sonic and Chip defeat Dark Gaia and he sinks into the planet. Sonic never sees Light Gaia again, and the planet is restored, and the credits play too. So with all that to say, the plot for Sonic Unleashed doesn't have any plot holes, and the character development actually progresses throughout the game, and it's shown. Now, that's what makes a good story. So, how did Sonic Unleashed affect the franchise? Well, it wasn't received well by the critics. But as I mentioned before, the fans liked it, well, at least a lot more than the critics did. But later on, it got reviewed way better. So, I mean, it's all good now. It's all good now. But I'm just saying at the time, this did not help the franchise at all. It just even, most likely, it brought the franchise down to an even lower point than it already was. By that point, we had Shadow the Hedgehog 06, Secret Rings, and as I'm about to talk about next, we got Black Knight in 2009. So, let's talk about that. When it comes to Sonic and the Black Knight, I've heard some interesting opinions. So what I could get from this is that some people think Sonic and the Black Knight is a good game, but on the other side, some people think the game is just bad. So if I'm being honest, I don't like Sonic and the Black Knight. In fact, I even gave the game back to GameStop as well as Sonic 06, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and yeah, but my opinion on the gameplay of Sonic and the Black Knight is that it is far from being polished. However, I don't totally despise the idea of Sonic having a sword. If this was actually done correctly, it could have been a really good game. Not the best, but solid. So the reason I feel the way about this game is because the controls, they just don't feel right to me. You know what I mean? Like with the motion controls, it just really didn't work out well. Same thing with Sonic and the Secret Rings, right? But anyways, that's all I have to say about the gameplay, so let's talk about the story now. First, there's a wizard named Marlena who attempts to escape the Black Knight forces. Then she performs a spell, summoning Sonic. Now, Sonic must defeat him to restore peace to the kingdom because why not? And since Sonic can't defeat King Arthur with speed alone, he has to get a sword because also, why not? Sonic's sword can also talk to him, which is just weird in my opinion, but anyways, after that, Sonic takes the scabbard back to Merlina, who reveals that there was never a King Arthur in the first place, and what he defeated was actually an illusion created by her grandfather, Merlin. So basically what happens is Merlina manipulates Sonic in order to claim Excalibur's scabbard as her own. However, not surprisingly, her plan is flawed. So she summons the underworld directly into the kingdom, creating the Dark Hollow and forcing Sonic and the knights to flee. Next, Sonic enters the Dark Hollow to confront Merlina, who has now become the Dark Queen, but she is actually too powerful and destroys Caliburn and badly injures Sonic. So, fast forward, later on, Sonic gets the power to defeat Merlina and destroys the Dark Hollow. And finally, Caliburn reminds them that he is the one who chooses the true king, now revealed to be Sonic. So, that's all for the story. But now I just want to talk a little bit about my other thoughts and opinions on this game. So, with the music, I just think it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not good. I mean, it's just kind of like in the middle. Definitely better than Sonic Forces, though. But yeah, I think that Sonic and the Black Knight got the reviews it deserved. And the reviews were horrible. But it's not the worst Sonic game, although I think it's close. So overall, Sonic and the Black Knight did not help the franchise at all. If anything, it brought it down. Well, that sums up the Dark Age. So, in conclusion, the Dark Age was a time where Sonic had it pretty rough when it came to the games. And all these games I just talked about were reviewed horribly by critics. And to be honest, Sonic Unleashed didn't deserve the reviews it got. But 7 years later, it did. So, Sonic Unleashed did get a little bit of credit at least. But the other games, yeah, I'd agree with the critics pretty much that they are pretty terrible, to be honest. So overall, I think it's safe to say that Sega had good ideas for these games, but the execution was terrible, and that's why we got the bad games that we got back to back. Alright guys, I'm sorry for not uploading in like half a year, like 6 months. And when I say uploading, I'm not talking about the music I've posted, not the Sonic Frontiers OSTs, not any remixes or anything like that. What I'm talking about is a video of me actually speaking. And after the Sonic CD retrospective, I don't know, maybe you were curious as to why I hadn't posted in so many months. So this is gonna sound silly, but like basically what happened was like I pretty much got lazy. Yeah, for 6 months. And I kinda got distracted from making music. This isn't a joke either, like I'm serious. Now, finally, there's one last thing I want to address. And that's the last thing I said in my Sonic CD retrospective. So about the Sonic 3 retrospective, yeah. That video will be out eventually. I mean, definitely before Sonic Frontiers comes out. But, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And that's all. Peace.